Hey, my name is Dave Gustafson, and I'm the pastor of Jacksonville Chapel here in Lincoln Park, New Jersey. You know, Jacksonville Chapel has been around for about 80 years, and we sit at the crossroads of 4 different towns here in Morris County in northern New Jersey. And so the campus has kind of expanded and sprawled over the years. And so this is our main worship center that we have our main worship services in, and we also have a nursery school that meets downstairs that meets 5 days a week for kids all the way up through pre-K, and it's where we run our we call our Chapel Kids, which is where Vince is working in that Chapel Kids nursery school area. Across the street we have our chapel offices, and then also over there we have several more buildings. There's the Parker Ministry Center, which used to be the home of a guy who ran all our youth ministries back in the 50s and 60s, and now it's part of the church facility. The whole campus makes up a lot of different buildings, but kind of all fits together to do the mission that we feel like we've been called to do, and we're really grateful for it. And one thing that we really believe is that everything communicates a message. You know, your architecture communicates a message, your design communicates a message, and frankly, I think a lot of times the church has gotten that wrong, because churches have communicated messages of, you know, keep your distance, put up barriers that people find it very hard to overcome. And it's really kind of ironic, because when Jesus came into this world, he came to remove barriers. He came to make God accessible to people. And so as a church, we're really trying to do that with everything that we are and everything that represents us. And so we're real excited to be working with Vince and his airbrush work, because we're redesigning our children's area, which is downstairs in our church. And we want to just send the message to kids that you're valued, you're important. We want to treat you like a kid, and we want to show you a place that's designed for you as kids. And we really feel like as the project progresses, it's really becoming that. So we're super excited about how it's coming along, and I'd like to go inside and check out how Vince is doing on the project. Hey, Vince.
Dave. Hey.
How's it going?
How's it going, brother?
Doing well.
Good to see you, man.
I wanted to check on the progress of the project here.
Oh, awesome, man. I had no idea you were coming down, so this is quite the surprise. It's great.
I'll tell you what, man, it is awesome. Just love it. When we set out to do this project, we had a general concept, you know, of what we wanted, but this is just exceeding expectations. It really is. It's, you know, I think a lot of times in schools and churches, they try to make it kid-friendly, and it just kind of comes off as kind of cheesy, too kiddish.
Right.
And it's kid-friendly, but it's, I mean, the only way I can think of to say it is got a cool factor to it that just kind of transcends that kind of nursery feel. So we're really happy with it. Oh,
well, that's awesome, man, because you know, that's what I was trying to actually get people to say exactly what you just did. And that's why I appreciate that you came down here, because you know, I don't usually get to hear what the response is, because I'm here at night after the school's closed and stuff. And I'm just kind of airbrushing by myself. You know, every once in a while somebody will pass through, but to hear you say that people actually do think that it's cool and it's not cheesy, that's what I was going for. I knew that it had to be, you know, kind of Disney, because there's little kids. I don't want the animals to like scare them, like lions and you know, things like that. But you know, I also wanted to make it a little bit more, you know, realistic. So I wanted to skirt that line between realism and cartoon. So I'm glad to hear that.
Really hits that balance.
Oh, appreciate that.
Yeah, I think it's a great start for, you know, I know you've got several other walls you're going to be doing, and to me, this is just it sets the tone for what we want. And so, man, we're loving it and can't wait to see the progress come along. So,
oh man, well, I do appreciate that, man. It really keeps me motivated to keep going, because this is one heck of a you know, an undertaking.
Yeah, you're gonna be here for a while.
Yeah, man,
it's gonna be great. So I'll let you get back to work.
All right.
I'll talk to you later.
See you. All right, brother. Have a good day. Hey everyone, I'm Vince Harris. Come with me. Let me take you on a tour of my new project. All right, so this is a monster project that I'm working on, and this is stage 1. This is where it all begins. Basically right here, for when the parents and the kids come in, they're gonna set up a beautiful 3D picket fence. It's gonna say Jacksonville Chapel Kids, nice and big, so they know that it's for them. We're gonna show some kids actually look like I'm gonna paint it like they're assembling the sign. You know, some of the kids are handing up the letters, other ones are sawing things, hammering things. It's gonna be really fun, it's gonna be great. Behind that, in the background, there's going to be a silhouette of the city. There's going to be some rooftops of some of the other elements of the project that they're going to interact with as we go on to the next stage. So let's go and check out some of the other things that are going on. All right, so in this section right here, I'm going to show a kid like he's just grinding that railing on a skateboard. It's going to be awesome. We might even try to get the skateboard coming out in 3D. Right here where the elevator is, I'm going to make it look like you're going into almost like a central park, and then around the corner, after I do an archway around the elevator, it's going to look like there's a beautiful fountain that people are sitting in front of, maybe feeding pigeons, you know, that kind of a little plaza section. Right over here in this section is going to be like the municipal buildings. There's going to be a fire department with a 3D fire truck coming out, and then over there is going to be a police station with a cool motorcycle cop or some cool cop car with like the lights going. Over here in this section, there's going to be a taxi cab, city street kind of a thing. And then going off down that hallway is when we get to like the zoo and some of the parks and recreation stuff, until finally you arrive in Main Street. But I got a special treat for you. I want to show you a little bit of what you can expect to see on this project. So come with me and let me show you how I've already progressed so far. All right, so here we are, some of the things that I've done already. And check this bad boy out. This is the City Zoo, the Jacksonville City Zoo. What tour of the metropolitan area wouldn't be complete without visiting the zoo? So it's got everything. I tried to put a real huge amount of animals, and it's got lions and tigers and you guessed it, bears. Oh my. So as you can see, I tried to pay really close attention to all the details, not cut any corners, because I know that I want to make sure that whatever I paint here meets all the expectations for what they hired me to do, and I want to make sure that it stays up for years and years to come. I want everyone to be satisfied long after I'm gone. Now, I did a lot of different habitats, and one of the challenges was trying to fit as many animals as I could. So let me take a walk on over to the next habitat, and it really will stand out to what I meant, and I'll cue you into like how I had to fib a little bit if you haven't already noticed what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about, unique challenges that we sometimes face when we're doing murals. I basically had to put enough animals in this zoo to make it look varied enough for everyone. And the problem was, when I first started, I had just done the lions when I laid it out, and then I had just done the polar bears, and I realized, wow, I'm halfway down the wall and I only have 2 animals. So what am I to do? So I just decided, you know what? It's the fiction. It doesn't have to exactly be real. It just has to be fun and you know, engaging. So I threw seals in with the polar bears, even though polar bears would feast on them, along with penguins in the wild. You know, it's a predator prey, so they would never actually be together in the same habitat, but that's what I had to do. And also what I liked about putting this habitat second is that it allows me to cool the temperature down, right? So I can jump from something cold to something a little bit warmer, which leads me into the next section and what I was trying to convey and get across in the next part of the mural. So let's keep going on with our tour. Okay, so that brings us to this section. And in this section, I wanted to warm it up. I wanted to make it more vibrant, a little bit more engaging. This section in particular is really important to me for you know, engaging more of the kids. You know, as you can see, I really put in some more sunlight down on the animals, so you can see like the yellows and the oranges to just warm them up in the vibrant green. I try to dapple some of the sunlight. Obviously, I'll be working this up a little bit more and fine tuning it. What was really important in this section was to show the pairings of baby and adult animals. So, you know, the mother elephant with the baby elephant, the mother or father gorilla with the baby gorilla on its back, the 2 giraffes grazing, right? The baby giraffe grazing, and then the mom giraffe grazing in the trees. And that's important just to make it very friendly for the kids and very appealing, because they're, you know, you really don't want anything scary, you know, when you're trying to create something for a nursery school setting. So that's pretty much all I thought was important for this section. So let's just keep moving along here in our tour, because we're coming up to a couple animals that I think are really a fan favorite. Panda bears. Had to have a couple of pandas in the zoo. Not much really to say for this section. You know, it's got the same kind of warm colors and vibrancy. What was interesting about this section, though, is that when I got here and I did the pandas, I realized I had to have an exit to the zoo. And then I realized I only had about, you know, 2.5 feet of wall left. So how was I supposed to put this engaging exit scene that would say, you know, something about, you know, visiting the zoo and the whole 9 yards, when I only had this much room to do it in? So I thought that I had, you know, painted myself into a corner, so to speak. But then I thought about it differently. I stepped away from it and I said to myself, you know what if I do something that's more of a perspective shot and really show a scene that maybe we're still kind of in the zoo on the ridge line here, and we're just watching the people as they leave and go off into sunset. And it actually exceeded my expectations. It really came out a lot better than I had actually seen it in my head with the sun rays and things like that I added. And so there you go. People leaving the zoo. They had a wonderful little trip, and you know, they're going off to wherever they're going, walking off into the sunset, as it were. So that's our zoo. That's the first section. That's your sneak peek. Thanks a lot. All right, so everything you've seen that I've shown you up to this point gives you an idea of the level of expectation that you can have for the rest of this project. Obviously, my artwork speaks for itself, so I'm hoping to really blow everybody's mind with it. But this section right here, which doesn't look like much right now, is really, really what everything is leading up to. Let me just try to have you picture this in your mind, what's gonna happen. This carpet is gonna change. This is actually gonna become all of Main Street, USA that the kids are gonna hang out on and actually have their classes. These are individual classrooms that you see, but they're gonna be modded by carpenters and by real authentic siding and awnings and lamp posts and storefronts to look like actual shops that you would see on Main Street. This carpet is gonna become a street with yellow lines. You know, this over here is gonna have working lamp posts, and this, boom, right here is gonna be our movie theater, and this right here is gonna be our pet shop. And I'm not gonna go into the rest of the detail of what the rest of the stores are gonna be, because I want you to have a little bit of suspense. It's good for the heart, and you know, I don't want to spoil the rest of the surprise for what's gonna happen. But it's gonna be awesome. Awnings, lamp posts, you know, working signs, more stuff airbrushed by me in the windows, a street. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be really, really great. So thanks for coming with me on this little journey. And there's gonna be a lot more to come, a lot more video as this project continues to unfold. So I'll see you again real soon.